Welcome everyone. In this video, you will learn a little bit about live text as well as the first assignment that we'll complete in live text. Throughout the semester, there will be 3 assessments that we complete in live text, and these will be known as our signature assessments. Each course that you take in the education program will have a signature assessment, and this means that every single student does the exact same assignment, and you'll have a specific rubric that's used to assess your knowledge. We collect that data and we use it to see how good we're doing with teaching you certain items. And that information is also shared with outside accreditors like the State Department of Education. You should purchase the Field Experiences account because this will be used throughout the program, including your internship. At some point when you are interning, your mentor teacher will use this to assess you during your internship. You will also have something called a portfolio, which some of you have created. The portfolio will be a collection of evidence that you create to show that you've met certain standards. So you'll have 2 tasks to complete with live text. One will be to submit assignments to be graded, and then separately you will add that particular evidence to your portfolio. So let's log in. Now once you log in, you will see that you are on a dashboard. Your courses will have your assignments appear right here, and each time you see one, you'll see a red line. That means it's been assigned to you. Once you have completed everything and submitted it, that line will change to the color yellow, and then once I have graded it with the rubric, you will see that it turns green, and you'll be able to access to see your grade as well as your feedback, and you'll see what items were selected on the rubric. The grade in live text will eventually be put into my classes. So let's get started with your first assignment. Now, once you click on the assignment, when it's available to you in live text, and again, you will not see the assignment until a particular date and time. This will open on Monday, October the 8th, and it'll open early in the morning. Once you're able to click on the assignment, you'll click on task and you'll be able to see this information. I will not read this top part to you, but you should read that. It gives you a little bit of background. So the first thing that we'll work on is MTTS 7. There are 7 different Maryland Teacher Technology Standards, and that's what MTTS stands for, Maryland Teacher Technology Standards. So every student in the state of Maryland that's in an education program is required by the state to meet these 7 technology standards. We'll do 5 in this class, and the other 2 will be completed by virtue of work that you do in other courses. So this is what we're looking at. This is our assignment, and this one is professional growth. And once you read this paragraph, you'll see something that says that you'll be assigned a particular tool. In this case, in this design section, so you'll see that this says design, then you'll see a part that says teach, then you'll see a part that says reflect. So there are 3 different parts to your particular assignment here. When you go to design, you want to click on Kid Citizen. And this is the tool that will be the technology. And this is something that you can add to your Diigo account under the Social Studies tab. So you click on Kid Citizen and it brings you to this website. Now this is created by an organization and it was funded by the Library of Congress, and it uses resources from the Library of Congress. And the Library of Congress is a library that Congress uses, but it's also accessible to the public because it's created by the federal government. And in the Library of Congress, you'll find things like artifacts, you'll find audio, you'll find images, you may find video, you'll find some teacher resources, and most of the resources in the Library of Congress are considered primary sources. And you'll learn more about primary sources when you take your Social Studies Methods course. But this tool was designed specifically for elementary students, and it was designed to use primary resources in the classroom. So what you'll do first is just explore this tool. And when you explore a tool, you want to go to the About section. This will give you information about what it is and where it came from and who created it and the team. So you'll see that stuff. You won't be tested on this, but it's good just to know that background information. Then there's something right here that says episodes. Now what you'll need to do in the episode part is to scroll through and take a look at some of the titles, and then when you see one that you like, you'll need to click on it and you need to actually complete the episode. These episodes are led by an avatar and they teach you to do certain things. So I'm going to go to Welcome to Congress and click on this. And once I click on this, you'll see some basic information. There's a button here to play the episode, but before that, you want to read this little background information. And notice here that there's a teacher guide. So all of these have this built in so that you can access this as a teacher. And then you see this citation. So you can use this to add in your reference section. And that's it on this one. So we'll go back up and then you'll take it. This is the part that you'll be doing. You can click here or you can click play this episode. And notice this says K-2. So this is designed for young kids to use. So you click play this episode. And here's the avatar that will be talking to you throughout the episode. And this is what would happen if you use this with a student. This is what the students would go through. So basically what you're doing is you're practicing to see what a student is going to do. And that's why it's called Kid Citizen. As a teacher, you want to always go through stuff so you kind of know what it is and know what it's about so you can help students as necessary. But when you're ready, you want to click on Start
to begin.
Now, if you can hear that, I'm not sure you can hear that based on the recording, but she's going to be speaking. And you'll hear that when you do it yourself, though. So let's get started.
Hi, my name is Ella. We are going to go on an adventure together. We have a mystery to explore, and we will collect clues from primary sources to find the answer to our history question. Who represents us in Congress, and where do they work? Let's go. Let's look at this picture of people from long ago. How many people do you see? Tap them all.
So you'll notice that the avatar is a kid-friendly image. And not only do you hear the narration, but you also see the text at the bottom, which is good for a learner. So you have the visual, you have the narration, but you also have the text. So that's a good combination. And so what she told me to do was to click on the people I see. So this is what you would do. You would follow along.
That's one person. You found 2. That's 3. There's the 4th person. You found 5 people. These 5 people live together in a community on an island. Do you know what a community is? A community is a group of people living and working in the same place. People living in a community help each other in many ways. One person in this picture is helping their community in a special way. Let's explore to find out more. Do you see a poster that the people are holding up? Tap it when you find it.
So at this point, you would follow those directions. She told me to find a poster, so I'll look around, and then here's a poster. And notice that for the learner, once they do find something, it changes from this selection arrow to the hand. So you'll know that something is linked there. So you click on it.
Tap the pictures and the words in this poster to learn more.
So now it's telling me to tap the picture and tap the words to learn more.
This person's name is Patsy Mink.
And you would continue through your episode like that. And as you go through it, what you want to be thinking about is the learner and how they would be learning. But you also want to think about how a teacher would be using this and how you would share this with the teacher, because that's part of what you'll need to do for the assignment. So let's go back to the assignment details. I won't go through this whole episode. So in this part, this is where it says explore. So we're under design, and so you will click on this, but this tells you what to explore. And this is just giving you a sense of what it is and how it works and completing the episode. And notice here it says complete the episode of your choice. So you can pick any of those on that episode page that you would like. For your sources, and remember, we always have a source for what we do. You need to find at least one source that provides evidence that experts in the field endorse the use of a tool for the classroom instruction. However, I'll add one caveat. You cannot use the people's research that created it, because that would be too easy, of course. And what you want to do is to find your own, now that you know how to search for articles. Once you have completed the explore part and you found your resource, you go to this next part under design, and you're going to create a mini lesson. And this is all you need to do. Think of a warm-up that introduces the tool, and the tool, remember, is this Kid Citizen tool that you're using. Give an overall introduction to the lesson. And what you're doing is you're talking to a colleague, you're talking to another teacher in your building, telling them about this tool. You want to do some explicit instruction to teach the class how to use the tool. So you're teaching how the tool works. Is kind of how I started out, showing you what to do and telling you about the avatar. You want to talk about the affordances, and that just means what's good about the tool, what looks like what seems like it works well. And you'll know this from your exploration. And then any challenges. So you'll think something will happen. You'll see something that you'll talk about that you can think of that will be a challenge. Meaning, what does a teacher have to think about? And it doesn't. And it's not bad. It's just that what does a teacher need to think about if they're going to use this tool in their class? And once you've done all of that and you have it set up, you will teach your lesson. So you'll notice that this gives you a little outline of a lesson. And you do not need to write this down to turn it into me, but you want to follow that structure so that when I look at what you create, I'll know that you followed this particular order of activity. So when you teach it, you're going to use a tool called Screencast-O-Matic. And Screencast-O-Matic is a tool that allows you to record your computer screen as well as your voice and any mouse movements you make. So this video that you're watching now was created using Screencast-O-Matic. And this is where you'll need your USB headset. Now I'm using a Logitech webcam, but you'll be using your headset for this. And you'll deliver the lesson. That means that you've created this part, and you'll go to the website like I did, and you'll be talking like I'm doing right now, but you'll be teaching your lesson based on this order of events. And I'll let you read those instructions. And once you've done that, you will be able to then create something of an assessment, which in this case right here, I recommend Nearpod, or you could use something like Kahoot or Socrative or Google Forms. So I want you to use one of those tools. This shouldn't be something that you create in a Word document. You want to use one of these tools. And for example, I'll show you what Nearpod looks like. So you'll be learning a couple of new things in this assignment. And so there's a free version to this, so you should definitely not pay for anything, but this is a tool that a lot of teachers are using. A lot of different teachers use it. So that's one of them. And then the other tools are here that you have choice of. And that's an assessment at the end. And basically what the assessment is in this case is for the person that you're making this for, they can sort of test themselves on what they learned or what they were supposed to know. You don't have to have a lot of questions, but you want to have sort of a self-assessment for the person that's watching your video. And then at the end, you need to do a reflection. So this will be your Google Doc, and you want to, if you can, you should get feedback from a peer so that you can have a better way to write your reflection. But I realize time and stuff like that, but ideally you should have a peer review it, or it could be a parent as well. That could work as well, as long as you write a good reflection, and make sure that you take some time on your reflection. Now, the next thing that you might want to do before you start this is to actually look at the rubric that will be used to grade you. So a lot of our assignments don't have rubrics, but this one does, so make sure you read it. And I would read the exemplary column. The only one that you don't have to worry about is where it says virtual handout. So that column is not going to count against you. And then when we go right here where it says Site 3, in your instructions it says 1, so you're going to go with 1. You only need 1 citation from someone, an expert in the field. And of course, that's the benefits part. So the emerging technology will take care of itself. The benefit will come from the article that you use to support it. The presentation technology is Screencast-O-Matic. The virtual handout you're not doing. The hands-on activity, now this is something that you would just have the learner do. For example, you might have them open the website and go to an episode. Maybe that's your hands-on activity. Your lesson plan, like I said, is those little 4 steps you do for the teach part. And you don't have to write that down. I'll just be able to tell by the way you conduct your video whether or not you follow that particular plan. And this has to do with how you present yourself. So you should be energetic, you should be motivated, you should use your voice well, you should have good pacing and all that. And then your reflection. So these are the boxes you should read to make sure you understand what you're being graded on. Now, once you've completed that, what you'll do is submit the video that you make in my classes. So the way this works is you need to create an account with Screencast-O-Matic, and then you'll need to watch a little video on that website. It'll show you how to get started, and then you press record, and you record your voice. You may have to record a couple times just to get it right and make sure you understand how it works, but it's fairly easy once you understand what you're doing. And then what you'll do is it'll save the video in Screencast-O-Matic, and then you just get a link to it and you'll submit it to me. And if you have questions about that, you should definitely come see me and ask how to do that if the website's not clear enough to tell you what to do. And that's basically what you need to do for this particular assignment. Now again, make sure that if you have not done so, that let's go to the dashboard. And I'm gonna go to documents. Let me go to documents and make sure that if you have not created a portfolio, and this is what it'll say right here, what you need to do to create the portfolio that you need is to click on new, and then you want to choose portfolio. Make sure you're under Salisbury University. Choose portfolio. Then you just want to select your major. So if you're double major, you click here. If you're early childhood, you click here. If you're elementary, you click here. And once you click on it, you'll notice to the right that a bunch of items will pop up. And that's what the portfolio looks like. And once you are ready, you'll go down to the bottom, and there's something here that says create document. So you'll click on that, that'll create your document. So I'm not going to click there because I already have one, but I'll go back and show you what the portfolio looks like. So before you click on LiveText Docs, there'll be nothing in here until you make your portfolio. So once you make it, you'll have one thing here, and it'll say portfolio, and you'll be able to click on it. And depending on the orientation of it, it will look like this, and then you'll see the different parts over here. A couple things you want to do to your introduction is you want to set this part up. Good news for you is that you've already done this work because you created a website. So the exact items that you have on your home page, like your picture and your write-up, can go right here. And to edit this, you just find the edit button, and then this is just like a text box, and you just type. All of this should be deleted by the time that you are finished. So none of the directions should appear. And all you'll need to do is copy and paste the text from your website in here, put the picture in there, and you can put your quote if you want, but that's basically all you need to do for the introduction part. And make sure you click Save Changes, Save and Finish. And I'll click Cancel because I've already done this. And then each time that you're in your classes, your methods courses, you'll find items like, you click on math. Now this will come much later. This will come in your senior year. And you'll have a standard that you're meeting for that particular assignment. The evidence is the actual assignment that you do for that professor. And you would click edit here to be able to do that. And I click on edit, and then you'll be able to add your information. So right here where it says insert files, you can click edit, add your files. Now for us, because it's a link to a video, you would just come in here, delete the text. And remember that little chain I was telling you about? You'll be able to make a link to your evidence using that. And it works pretty much the same like everywhere else that we've talked about that. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see Maryland Teacher Technology Standards. You'll click on this, and we're going to cover, like I said, 5 of these. And it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. These 2 will be completed at another point in the program. So each time that you submit one of these for our class, you'll need to answer these questions. This is sort of your reflection on your evidence. I'm not grading any of this, and you're not submitting any of this to me, so if you don't do it this semester, you'll end up doing it in your seminar. So it's up to you as to whether or not you complete that. But just make sure you at least put your evidence in here so you'll know exactly where it is. And again, you have to submit your evidence separate from submitting the assignment. The evidence goes in the portfolio. The assignment you submit using this process where it says submit a course assignment. So those are 2 different actions that you have to take for that. And that's basically all we're doing for this assignment. And what you should do, like I said, is read through everything carefully. If you have any questions, of course, we're not meeting face to face, but you can always stop by. If you want, I'll probably be busy with one of my advisees, but if I'm open, you can come in and ask questions, or if you want to email, you can do that as well. You can also email Michaela. She's done this particular assignment before, so she'll be able to show you exactly how to use Screencast-O-Matic, and she knows about Nearpod, she knows about Kahoot, she knows about all those tools that you'll need for this, so don't hesitate to ask either one of us questions that you might have.